This is DDS, Detroit Raw.
Brandi Davis grew up around the drug game in Detroit. As the daughter of a big-time dope man, she lived a privileged childhood and adolescence, attending private schools, driving a BMW, and going away to study in Atlanta. But it was as a college student where she dated Darren Whiney Gatling, a power player in the iconic Black Mafia family, that she started on a path towards her own notoriety. This is Detroit Raw. Brandi Davis.
He had reached out to my girlfriend and gave her money for me. Like, here, give this to her for her baby shower. You know, he gave her like maybe $5,000 or something like that she sent to me. And he was like, tell her to get what she needs, you know, for her son or whatever, due to the circumstances. Which was cool. I took it.
Davis had a privileged childhood, growing up in Southfield, Michigan, a suburb of Detroit. Her dad's business, which she really didn't know anything about until later, afforded her a lot of nice things early in life. She said he showered me with gifts. I went to private school. My sister and I both got brand new cars when we turned 16. My dad bought us fur coats and designer clothes. I had my first Rolex when I was just in the 10th grade. I didn't know exactly what he did for a living, but I knew we weren't wanting for anything.
They took him in, but they didn't detain him. So it's like they raided him. He didn't get charged with nothing. They took him in like for questioning, and then he got released.
When Davis turned 16, she finally realized what her dad did, hanging out with friends as a teenager. She heard guys talking about him. He had a good reputation in the streets. When she'd go places, she'd see how people treated her when they find out that she was his daughter. That in itself attracted her to the lifestyle.
I felt more so by my dad. Like with me, I'm the type of person, I'm kind of a realist. So I kind of knew after everything that I was going through, the situation I put myself in. But when it came to my father, it just hit a little different.
Davis started dating a guy from Chicago named Justin Turner. She knew him from a while back. He came and swept her off her feet. She was vulnerable and missed being taken care of by a man.
He's a street guy, so he's looking to see the people that I'm out stopping fives with, or that I'm introducing him to, or that he sees me interacting with. So after he went back home, he ended up calling me. It was like, hey, you think you can... It's kind of like he was the type of person, like, he tried to put you on blast. To see if you who you say you are, or... He was one of them people to try to put you on the spot. So he eventually ended up sending me... He's like, I'm going to send you something down there. Let me see if you can get rid of it. And he ended up having somebody drop 30 kilos.
Davis said Justin peeped the kind of people I was around, and one day cut into me. If I have some coke brought down here, can you move it? I was like, yeah, probably. That's how fast it started for me getting involved with selling drugs.
He came to Detroit to visit. And now you know how you recollect back on things. You don't see things when it's going on, but when you got a chance to sit back and recollect on things, he came to Detroit. And me, showing hospitality, I took him out in the city. I took him out on the town. But I think that he peeped the type of people that I interacted with.
Davis claims the next day, somebody dropped her about 30 kilos of cocaine. In a matter of days, she got rid of it. After that, it became a routine thing. They were moving around 60 keys a week. She brought in her dad and stepbrother, and they were off and running.
A couple people that I knew that I was close to, like, hey, I got this. And at the time, it was a drought. So it was nothing around. So it was easy because the people I called was like the only people in the city who had something. And they got rid of it really fast. So I called him back like, yeah, I got your money. And he was looking like, you got my money? I'm like, yeah, you got to send somebody to come get it, you come get it. So after that, it started becoming a daily routine.
Unfortunately, she got caught up in a sting set up by one of her drivers. She was caught with 27 kilos of cocaine, driving from Chicago to Detroit.
I have a good friend that was his co-defendant, and he came to his sentencing and got on the stand at our friend's sentencing to try to get him more time to get time taken off his sentence. So he was around there just doing whatever he was, I guess, to try to minimize his time that he was facing.
But in the end, her fate would be the same as many before her. While she was fighting the case, Justin had got into some trouble and gave up her and her dad to the feds. Her problems went from state to federal. The state dropped her possession charge, and the feds stepped in and included her in a conspiracy with her dad. They both pled out and got sentenced to 10 years. This is Brandi Davis, Detroit Raw.